Heroes and Angels is a nonprofit corporation here based in Ray County, Tennessee. Heroes and Angels will be started here in Ray County with a board of 12 members. These members on this board will be considered organization leaders within Heroes and Angels. Each of us on this board have a true passion for child abuse prevention.
So, where did you get your motivation to start this venture?
Back in 2013, Ray County was hit with a tragedy that we will never forget. Landon Robbins, a kindergarten student from Spring City Elementary School, died to an abusive relationship between them. I didn't know Landon personally. However, he did go to the same elementary school that I did growing up. After the event happened, I was invited to speak and sing at a candlelight visual that was organized to raise money for his family. I went and spoke at that event, sang at that event, and met a lot of different community people that were touched by this tragedy. About a week after the candlelight visual, and probably about 2 weeks after the event had actually happened, I sat down with some different community leaders and thought, this is something that this community needs. In 2013, in August, Heroes and Angels was born. Heroes and Angels was originally planned to be a fundraising program and abuse prevention outreach program for Prevent Child Abuse Tennessee. Throughout the years, Prevent Child Abuse Tennessee has actually went through a lot of different changes with staff and different things, and so we've kind of lost touch. So in May of 2016, Heroes and Angels became its own nonprofit corporation. And now today we are currently a nonprofit corporation here in Ray County, Tennessee.
I know you studied a lot on this and talked to the Tennessee Advocacy, and what kind of services or how are you going to be helping prevent child abuse or to deal with child abuse? I would say obviously first we want to prevent it, and secondly we want to deal with situations when they do come up. And what will be the emphasis of Heroes and Angels?
Heroes and Angels will fully be prevention awareness. We will be hopefully getting into the school systems to talk to the teachers and to the staff of the schools, to give a more emphasis on, what the signs of abuse are, who to report it to, when to report it. We're also going to do community events to where we can get into the community and say, this is something that we need to talk about. I think that a lot of people are afraid to talk about it. It's not a topic that we generally talk about at dinner, but I feel like that this community, all communities, need to talk about it. Abuse is here, and it's something. It's a very difficult subject to work on, but it's something that this community needs to come together and do. Heroes and Angels will also hopefully provide financial assistance to needy families that need it. A lot of times you see abuse cases where the children aren't being abused necessarily physically, but their parents are having a financial setback. A parent lost their job or anything like that, and it does get very stressful for the parents. And we want to help out those parents to where that type of issues won't become an abusive situation. I know that some families, some parents, some stories of abuse started out that way, where parents were going through a very difficult time, and then abuse started to occurring due to all the stress that the parents went through. So hopefully we will get to a set place to where we can start providing financial assistance to families that actually need it.
Have you done much research on the causes of abuse?
I have. I've actually spoke with DCS a couple of times after we've chartered. just to kind of talk about, what DCS does, with stuff like that, and they do investigate stuff like that, and it is it's very sad to see that some parents, like I said before, they go through a financial setback, and that causes some things. Drugs is a very difficult issue that we see in our community every day. There are children in this community in Ray County that are dealing with drug-related abuse, where parents are doing methamphetamine in the house while they're there, doing drugs while driving, with their kids in the car, things like that, different things like that. That is also a major issue that I do believe communities have, is drug-related abuses. And then something that, that's very difficult to talk about, which is sexual abuse. That is something that happens every day, that we really don't see. We don't really hear about it very much because it's done behind closed doors. But that's also something that is in this community that we need to talk about.
Now, if someone wants to learn more about your Angels and Heroes and Angels, give us your Facebook page. Is Facebook Heroes and Angels?
Yep. Facebook. We like us on Facebook, Heroes and Angels. You can. We don't currently have a website right now, but we will be having that up pretty soon. But Facebook is where you can find us.
That out, and a lot of people are hesitant to talk about abuse, even if they have, especially if it's a relative that's doing the abuse.
Oh yeah.
Even though the child is a relative, sometimes they don't want to, as you say, squeal on who's doing it.
Exactly.
So
I am going to say one more thing. Something that that I am going to tell the community is that I know that child abuse cannot be stopped. It won't be. It's not something that will just go away. But what I can say is that Heroes and Angels is going to work on putting the prevention and outreach in the community to where we can prevent that and also promote, healthy living with families and children. And I vow to do that with Heroes and Angels.
Well, that's a good point, because one thing you need to do is not just say don't abuse, but offer alternatives on how to deal with these urges to do abuse, because that's very important. It's easy to just say no to child abuse, but that alone does not work.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, thanks for taking time to talk to us.
You're welcome.